right? I get an offer. So always remember that. There's always going to be a buyer for every property out there, especially in the seller's market. Seller's market, you put a tenant in the middle of the desert, it's going to sell. Doesn't matter, right? Connecting with the lead. We talked about the, John just brought it up a little while ago. What kind of connection? Smart plan, right? Campaigns. Making sure that you put all your leads in your database on some sort of a connecting action, right? You want to make sure that you stay on top of mind. Closing an appointment. Don't be scared to ask for it. Don't be scared. Because the whole point of having a conversation is to do what? Convert it into an appointment. Right? Convert it into an appointment. Your whole job is to get inside of that door. Your whole job is to sit down with that person and have either a buyer's consultation or a seller's consultation, a listing appointment. Right? And be prepared. Right? Be diligent and do your homework. Right? I was having a conversation with Brittany yesterday. You still have your appointment for today, right?
No.
Oh no, it's gonna got postponed. Right? So I was helping Brittany yesterday put together a listing package with comps and a seller's connection and things that she's gonna need for the appointment. So you want to make sure that you're coming to this appointment because your ultimate goal walking out of the house is to have what in your hand?
Contract.
A signed contract, either a listing or a buyer-broker agreement. Right? Very important. That is your ultimate goal. Is to, if somebody's gonna open the door for you to go in there, you better come out with a freaking contract. Right? You're right there. All you gotta do is close it. Right? Cultivating leads, holding your team accountable. Obviously, we're all individuals here. Right? Be prepared. Just what I was talking about. What's the first thing on that board? Scripts. What's the first thing that we have here in the office?
Scripts meeting.
Scripts. At what time?
7:30.
7:30 every day. And guess what? It's on Zoom. So there's no excuse for you not to attend. Right? I would highly advise you guys, find yourself an agent that you do not know. Not somebody you know that you do not know. And make that person your script buddy, your script partner. Even if it's somebody from another brokerage, who cares? Right? And practice scripts with them on a daily basis. Right? Get into that role as soon as they call. And don't be nice to each other. Alright, has everybody called nice to you? No. I've had people tell me to go screw myself. I've had people tell me that what I'm gonna die of. I'm like, you can think about it, I've had it. And I'm still here. Right? I'm still here. With escrows. So it's not, who cares what they say? I've actually had people hung up on me and I call them right back. Right? I call them right back. Because the worst thing they're going to do is do what? Hang up on me again. Right? Now here's the thing. We talked about fear, right? The fear of rejection. Who cares? You don't even know who they are. You can't even see them. Right? This is your protection. Can see me. Right? Don't be afraid. Right? Role play. Again, what I was just saying, find yourself a partner that you can role play with on a daily basis. It's only a 5 to 10 minute call. And that 5 to 10 minute call is gonna make the difference in your scripts. I promise you, I used to do it every single day. I used to have a friend in the Valley. He still is. He's an agent with Prudential on Sepulveda. And every morning at 7:30 we would alternate it. I call today, he calls tomorrow. I call the next day, he calls the next day. One and one, all week. Right? 7:30 on the dot, phone would ring. And we wouldn't say, hey, what's up, bro? Right? We would go straight into it. Hey, good morning, my name is George Perez. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams. Can I speak with Alex? This is Alex. And then I would go into my script. right? At that time, what I was focusing on, my niche was expired listings. I mastered the crap out of that script, right? And then he would hammer me, and I said, bro, don't be nice to me. Just give it to me raw, you know, be an a-hole on the phone. And he would be, and sometimes, like at the beginning, I would fumble, right? But the more I practiced with Alex, the better I got, and the same thing for him. And then at the end of the call, we would give each other feedback. We would criticize each other, right? Constructive criticism. And then I would take a note of what he would say so that I would catch myself not. The moment I was going to do that, I would catch myself and stop myself from getting to that point, right? So role playing is extremely, extremely important. Behavioral styles. What does that mean?
Would you recommend I'm sorry, I'm going to take one step back. For scripts, just to do practice scripts just with other agents, or would you?
100%.
Just with other
Absolutely, but it is very important that you get into the 7:30 class,
Yeah.
right? Everybody should be there, right? And then we have a group of agents that are here in the office at 8 in the morning every single day practicing scripts, right? The group is open to everybody. John, you're part of it, right?
Yeah.
How is it?
It's great. There's only like five or six of us.
Ramses, are you in it too?
This is the Zoom one.
Okay. So there's always an opportunity for you guys to practice scripts, guys. Right? Behavioral styles. Why is this so important?
Do what you're good at.
Say it again.
Do what you're good at.
Yes. Yes. But here's the thing. Every person is a different personality. Every person has different behavioral styles. Every person takes information a different way. I can't talk to Brittany the way I talk to Roy, and vice versa. I can't talk to Carmen the way I talk to Maria, right? You got to learn the behavioral style of that person and do what? Adapt to them, right? I can't be a shark with a person that is not, right? I can't be an analytical person with a shark. I'll lose them. A shark doesn't give a crap about data. A shark cares about one thing. What? What the final number is. What am I walking away with, bro? Right? I don't care how you make me the money. Just make me the money. You get into a behavioral style where it's a high C, meaning that they're analytical, and they want to know the whole thing. Right? They want to know how you're doing it, why you're doing it, how long you're going to do it, how long is it going to take, and what the final result is going to be. They want to know the whole blueprint. Right? So, knowing the behavioral style of a person is extremely important. Now, how do you do that? By simply having a conversation, you could tell right away. Right? You can tell right away. I can tell right away what Maria's is. I can tell right away what Carmen's is. Right? Everybody has a different one. And if I can talk to these individuals that are in front of me in their language, guess what? You got them. Right? You're talking their language now. Now they're interested. Right? Now they're interested. But if you try to do it in your own language, well, guess what? You're going to walk away. Does that make sense? So there's actually, how many of you guys have done the DISC? Okay. Do you guys understand what the DISC is? It's a personality assessment. Okay? Have you guys ever gone and read your DISC report?
Yeah.
Okay? I'm a high D, so I don't read those reports. I just find out, I get to the final, what am I? Okay, that explains it. All right. The report says this. Okay, I get it. Right? I'm a high D and a high I. Right? The other two, the S and the C, are low.
I don't even know what it means.
Okay. So a D is a person that's very direct. Okay?
I don't know what the S and the C mean.
Okay, so a C is somebody that's very analytical. They love data. Who loves data? Doctors, engineers, scientists. Those are high C's. Hassan, he has a high C, but he's also a high D. Right?
Where can we do that?
I'll send you the link.
Okay.
Right? Every letter stands for a different type of personality. You could have a mixture of these. Right? I already know mine. I'm a high I, high D. I'm loud, I'm proud, right? But I'm also very direct. Right? Carmen, I know for a fact that she's a high C. Right? Why? With the story that she was telling me of the comfort zone. Right? High C's like staying in that comfort zone. They're afraid to step out. Not to say that you're afraid, but you're afraid.
Don't be scared.
Yeah. Don't be scared. Right? So if you really learn these behavioral styles, it's going to make your life so much easier. Because you're going to deliver the same message that I'm going to deliver to Carmen, I'm going to deliver to Maria. The same exact message, just in a different way. Right? But the end result's going to be the same. Right? So if you haven't ever done the disc, let me know. I'll send you a link so you can get the report and you can learn about yourself. And trust me, it's right dead on. Right? And you're reading this thing and like, oh, that's why I do that. Right? That makes sense. Right? It's an awesome report. It's like 42 pages long of just you.
It's long.
Yeah, it's long.
It's long.
40.
It's long.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's a full report on Myra. Why you do the things you do. Right? And then you go back to your husbands or your girlfriends or wives. Be like, babe, I understand you now. Right?
Can you send me the link to it?
I need to go to therapy.
All right, perspective. So the 4-step conversion process. This is a funnel, right? So what are we going to do on the first level as we do this? So think about this, guys. This is a funnel. Oops. Man, these markers, I hate them. That looks something like this, right? And what is our job? To fill this thing up with as many people that you connect with, right? So you're connected. Where the heck is the pad? Somebody took the pad.
Oh,
Where? No.
Chair.
Oh.
A tripod.
Oh, yeah, they took it.
Who did?
out there.
Let me use a tripod instead. These damn markers don't work.
there's a blue marker over here that looks like it. There.
Oh, and this side's closer. Over here. See, sometimes I don't even know how strong I am. See what I mean? Because my energy did that. Jesus Christ, I'm on a good one today. All right. That one was free. The next one I charge, all right? So get your funnel. And what are these?
Leads that you capture, right?
Conversations. Okay? These are the conversations that are going to lead you to connect with these people. So, the more conversations you have, the more connections you're going to have. Right? And as the funnel keeps getting smaller, you start finding out who really is going to be serious. And then you cultivate it. Right? Which equals conversion. What are we at conversion? What does that equal?
Money.
It equals contracts.
Money.
Margins on it.
Okay? And the end result is what?
Payday.
Dinero.
Money.
Contracts equal money.
That's right.
So the whole process of this, again, I can't stress this enough. You gotta talk to everybody that's in front of you. Right? You gotta open your mouth. I talk to everybody I possibly can. Every single day. It's funny because when Sylvia started working for me, at the beginning I would take her so she could see what I did in the field. And she's like, damn, you talk to everybody. I said, well, that's my job, right? That's what I do for a living. I gotta talk to people. Because what's my job is to grow my database every single day,
Yeah.
right? I actually had this conversation with Andrew the other day, and I think I had it with Ramsey a few weeks ago too, right? What's our number one job? To lead generate, right? And we're self-employed here, right?
Right.
The only person that holds you accountable is who?
You.
You. So imagine if you treated this as a job. How many hours is a regular job per day? 8 hours. Okay, you clock in, 8 o'clock, you clock out, 8 hours later, 5 o'clock, right? So let's say that you took this as a job, and you came in here, I actually talked to you about this too, right? And you did 8 hours of nothing but lead generation. 8 hours. A full day, 5 days a week. How many of these connections do you think you would have?
Oh, unbelievable.
A lot. Right? A lot. Because here's the thing. Not only are you going to talk to a lot of people, you're going to extremely master your skill. You're going to become an expert in your script. You're going to become an expert at handling objections. Right? It's like Kobe Bryant. How many free throws did he do a day?
Thousands.
Thousands. Can you imagine throwing that freaking ball like 1,000 times? Good Lord. Every day, 5 days a week. Well, guess what? You got to be the Kobe Bryant of your business. Right? And that equals the conversations every single day. Right? Because of that, because we don't actually have somebody holding us physically accountable like a boss, we get easily derailed. Do we not? I'm guilty of it. Right? I gotta refocus myself. Right? We actually have a training program where all these laws that you see in the back come from, it's called BOLD. Right? Those are our BOLD laws in the back. BOLD actually has a 100-a-day conversation challenge. Right? Talking about having 100 conversations about real estate in one day. It's a challenge, right? Back when the last time I took BOLD, me and JD did the challenge 3 times. Right? The first day it took us almost 10 hours to have 100 conversations. 10 hours, right? Second time we came around, we probably did it in about 9.5. And the third time around, we did it in about 8 hours, right? The point I'm trying to make is that we did a task that ended up generating a whole bunch of business for us, right? But here's the thing. We capture a lead, we open an escrow, and what do?
Forget to leave.
We forget to lead generate, right? We focus 100% of our time on what? On that one escrow. And that's your baby for the next 30 days. Right? You're like, oh my God, maybe it's okay. Forget about it, it's gonna close. Right? Go find yourself another one. Right? Our job is to continuously lead generate. Because we gotta fill up what? Our tunnel. This tunnel should be full at all times. This is your pipeline. Does that make sense? Right? At the end of the day, it's these connections that are going to lead to the conversions that equal contracts, that equal what? Payday for you. Hassan, you have a question? And this is the name of the game. But don't focus on this. Let this be the last thing you worry about. Worry about this. Because this will come by default. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Don't fall asleep, Maria. I got a stun gun. You want me to try to? Brr, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, wake up, George. Do it again. Alright? Alright, getting the most of this experience, a prisoner. Has to be there, doesn't want to be there, and doesn't know why they're there. Do you feel like a prisoner of your business? You should be. I've seen some agents that do look like they're prisoners of their business. Right? And I always ask myself, why did you even get into the business? Why did you even waste your money in getting a license? Because getting a license is not an easy process. It's expensive. Would you agree?
Yes.
Right? Ramses, you were one of my students, right?
Yeah.
Right. Ramses paid me to teach him for 9 weeks. And then he paid the state. And then he paid Gavar. And then who knows how much other money he spent. It's not a cheap business. We lead with money in real estate. Right? Because just like after all that, just like any other trade, what does a construction worker need to work?
Tools.
Tools. He needs a hammer, he needs a measuring tape, he needs a couple power tools, a saw, a drill, you know? His tools to make his trade work. What are our tools? Business cards, open house signs, for sale signs, advertisements, ads. Are those things free?
No.
They're not. What other expenses do we have on a yearly basis? Realtor dues, right? MLS dues. If you're a member of another association, you got key dues. Office fees, desk fees, printer fees, breathing fees. You know what I mean? Fees about everything.
That is what it is.
Yeah, it's just life, guys. So here's the thing: if you're finding yourself to be a prisoner of your own business, then maybe this business isn't for you. And I'm sorry to say that. I just like being transparent. I actually had a conversation with another agent not too long ago, and I honestly recommended them to go get a job. Right? I don't want to say who this agent was, but I literally told him, "You need to go get a job." He said, "Why?" I said, "So you could see how much you're going to hate it. Maybe it'll motivate you to build this business." Right? I've had jobs in my past that I just did not like, but did I do them? Of course. That's how I was paying my bills. I love what I do now. Right? I have a very, very big passion for this business. I have a big passion for helping agents like you. Right? It's like a natural high for me. I really enjoy it. You know, people say, "Would you do it for free?" Probably, but I don't choose to. I choose not to. Right? I getting paid. You better pass that donut around, let everybody take a bite. Teasing everybody with that sweetness, you know. All right, the prisoner doesn't engage. Spends class time catching up on their emails. I've seen this many times where the agents in the back are doing this and not paying attention to the lesson. Right? If you're going to be in the room, be in the room. Give yourself the undivided attention. You're not hurting me. Right? You're cheating you. That's the ultimate thing, right? Escapes by spending time in the hall on their phone. I see this all the time. They're in class and we're about to start asking questions and they act like, I gotta take this call. There's nobody there. Stop lying. Right? Hold on to limiting beliefs. What are limiting beliefs?
Things that stop you from getting the job.
Exactly. I can't do that. How the heck do you know if you can't do it if you haven't even tried it? Right? Multitask on their computer by working on side projects. This is called getting ready to get ready. In front of your computer. Oh, mouse. Oh, God. Oh, the pens. I'm ready. Oh, but it's lunchtime. Okay. And then they go to break. And then they come back and they're like, "Oh, you know what? Yeah, this is not going to work." They start fixing everything, reorganizing everything. Okay, now it's perfect. Oh, it's time to go home. And what do they do?
Nothing.
Not a damn thing. Right? Nothing. Getting ready to get ready. Right? Picks fights with trainer or other participants. They don't agree. I've had this happen with me before. I've had agents trying to argue a point that just does not make sense. Right? Because their mindset does not allow them to understand what's on the lesson. And I'm like, I'm the instructor, right? I'm teaching you this for a reason because I've been through it. Not trying to be cocky or anything. It's reality. Then you have the vacationer. A day in training is better than a day on the job. Right? We have agents. There's people in life that'll take every training available. They never miss one. They're a professional training attendee. Right? They have a master's degree in attendance and training. And they never do a damn thing with it. Knowledge on ice. That's what it's called. Right? Knowledge on ice. I always say that ignorance on fire kicks knowledge on ice right in the rear. Because you don't have to be the smartest cookie in the jar. As long as you have a strong commitment to working hard, you'll make it in this business. Because you can always have resources that you can depend on. You ask any agent in his office, I don't care who it is. You go up to any top producer to ask them a question that you have within this business and they will help you. Promise you 100% that. We're transparent. You ask me how I got to where I'm at, I will tell you. I will show you. It's up to you to go through the same freaking windy road that I went through for the past 13 years. All the tears, all the stress, everything that drove me nuts, that sometimes still does. But is it worth it? 100%. I'm not afraid to tell you what I do. If you're willing to go through the same road that I went through, heck, I'll be your biggest cheerleader. I'll get in your car with you. Right? But you got to do it. Spend as much time chatting as listening. They're to have fun. Distracts the class with irrelevant comments. Get those all the time. Right? Returns late from break or lunch. Not purposeful in their learning goals. OMG, spends the day on their smartphone, texting and checking Facebook. How many of you guys have done that? I have. Isn't paying attention. Right? Does any of this stuff resonate with you guys so far? Any of it?
Yep.
If you're saying no, you're lying. Okay? And then you have the explorer. Excited and curious about the new knowledge, skills, and tools they will discover in class. Listens attentively, then participates fully in discussions and exercises. Asks meaningful questions and contributes compelling ahas. Arrives to class on time and returns promptly from breaks. Adopts a posture of acceptance. Takes notes in their manual for future reference. Respects the different learning styles and opinions of others. Hopefully you pick the explorer. Which one of you picked the explorer? Which one of you, what role do you play? Are you the prisoner? The victim? Are you the vacationer that takes all the classes in the world and never uses them? Right? Or are you the explorer that's going to go out there and step out of what? Your comfort zone to grow your business. Right? You can't grow a six-figure producing business with a part-time mindset. It's not going to work. In order to produce a six-figure business, you got to do six-figure activities. Right? What does that mean? It means hours of lead generation. It means hours of follow-up. It means doing an open house every single weekend. Religiously. It's on your schedule. Right? No excuses. You got a family party to go to? Oh well, catch you next year. Right? You want to go on vacation? Not this year, you got to work. Right? Earn the right, guys. Earn the right to do things in your business. Why? It's accountability. And like I said, the only person that can hold you accountable at the highest level is you. Not me, not Garrett, not Amy, it's you. Because we can tell you everything that you need to do, but if you don't take action, it means nothing. Right? So become that explorer. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, Carmen. Ask for the number. Step one, why do you want to capture? Buyers, sellers, niche, high-end geographic, demographic. What does niche mean?
Specific.
Specific area.
Specific area. Okay, I told you that a few years ago, what my niche became what? Expired listings. Right? Me and JD were business partners at that time, and we focused on expired listings. 80% of our business came from expireds. Do we have expireds right now?
Yeah.
Very little, right? Very little. Are they coming?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Get ready. Now is the time to start focusing on getting ready for that. Anticipation. Right? How do you get ready? Master the script that you're going to be using. Right? Here's the thing. When you go after the expired listing niche, you really have to become a consultant, a real estate agent, a shrink, a friend, all of the above. Why? Because you're talking with a distressed client. Their property has been on the market maybe 2 or 3 rounds and hasn't sold. Maybe fell out of escrow a couple times. The agent they're working with just isn't doing what they said they were going to do, and the last person they want to hear from is who? Another agent. Right? So the script matters. Because a person that has been in an expiring situation, their wall is bigger than Trump's plan. Right? It's huge. And you got to start chipping that wall one brick at a time to get to the point where I'm seeing eye to eye. Right? And as you see eye to eye, now you're seeing chest to chest. And next thing you know, you're fully in front of that person. It's not as easy as people think. Right? But if you practice and you master it, guess what? You'll be able to handle it. Right? So being or having a niche in this business is super important. Jessica Dixon, what's hers? Rosemont Military Wives. Why? Because she's a military wife herself. Right? She created a niche that everybody in Rosemont knows who Jessica Dixon is. Right? What's something that interests you? Find a possible way of getting into that and bring your business into it. Right? There's a ton of different items. Right? I remember that Carmen had told me that she wanted to be part of field workers, right, Carmen?
Yep.
That could be a niche. Right? Sylvia, my assistant, she's created a niche in what? In the car enthusiast world, because we're both into the car world. Right? Fitness, that could be another niche. The good looking guys in the back. Right? Yeah, behind the wall. Right? Myra, you were a translator, right? Hispanic community could be a big niche for you.
Huge niche.
Right? Find out what you enjoy and what you're good at, guys, and see how you can incorporate that into your business and create a niche out of it. Become that expert. Don't be the expert. Don't try to master every single area of this business. It's not going to work. Right? How do they say? Expert of everything, master of none, or something like that? Is that how that saying goes?
Jack of all
Jack
trades.
of
There you go.
All trades,
Yes.
master of none.
Yes. Well, flip that around. Right? I had one of the mentees come yesterday and say, hey, I got a commercial deal. I said, sorry, bro, I don't do commercial. Let me refer you to somebody. Right? Why am I going to get into something I'm just not going to be able to help that person with? Right? I don't do commercial real estate. I don't even know where to begin. Probably with a contract, maybe? I don't know. Right? All I know is that there's a lot more involved in commercial real estate, like attorneys and letters of intent and this and that, and it's just something that does not interest me. But there's agents out there that's all they do. Waleed, one of our agents, he's a freaking expert when it comes to commercial real estate. So I sent this agent to him. Hey, give this guy a call. He might be able to help you. Right? That's just not my niche. So if I'm not an expert in an area, don't try to fake it till you make it. Refer it out. You're still going to get a piece of the pie. Right? And at least you're going to find quality service for that person that you have as a lead. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. Right? High-end, geographic and demographic. What does geographic and demographic mean?
Geographic, a specific area?
Yes. And what about demographic? Certain kind of people. Right? Certain kind of people. Again, I just told Myra, focus on who? Spanish-speaking people. If she's a translator, her Spanish must be excellent. Right? So, it better be she's from Mexico. Find out what yours is, right? And apply it to these areas that are on the screen. Any questions so far? Any feedback? Any aha so far? Done? Oh my God, I'm doing a whole job. Find motivate. Step one, capture. Find the motivated. They have a reason or motivation to move now. If there is people out there right now looking to buy, and they are really out there, guess what? These are people that have motivation, right? Their motivation is high, because even with higher interest rates, they're still looking for a home. That's called serious motivation, right? So they're ready. Don't go out there and show properties to people that have not even taken the time to get pre-qualified. It's like playing roulette with a gun, like pa, pa, pa. It's like trying to get, like, what are you doing? Don't do that, right? The last thing you should do is go out with a person that you don't even know if they qualify to buy a home, right? Willing. They are agreeable to do what it takes to move now. They are agreeable to do what it takes to move now. Why? Because they have the motivation, right? They have the means to go through with the transaction. They are pre-approved to buy or can afford to sell now, right? They're ready to rock. They're ready to rock and roll. They're ready to make and take action. Last thing you want to do is waste your time. Right? How do you do that? You got to make sure that they're taking the necessary steps. Maria, have you talked to a lender? Right? Yes? Awesome. Right? How much did they qualify for you for?
No, I'm still waiting. I want to go find a house first.
You know what, Maria, I completely understand that, but here's the thing. We want to make sure that we're fully prepared, so if we do find a house that you like, we want to make sure that we have everything in place to submit an offer, because here's the thing, we're in a very competitive market. And the last thing is waiting to get that package and you lose the opportunity of submitting an offer on the property that you just fell in love with. So does that make sense to talk to a lender first?
Yes.
Very simple,
But I
right?
don't want to run my credit. I'm just kidding.
You're fired!
They don't want to run their credits.
Every lead is now, ready, willing, and able. Future, ready at some time in the future. Never can be reached or asked not to be contacted. Right? So now, they're ready to rock and roll. They made the decision they're going to buy, they took the necessary steps. They're like, let's do it. Right? We call these green apples. Right? Future. They're not ready now, but they will be. Just because they say no today doesn't mean that it's a no forever. Right? Their situation just might not allow them to do it right now. But that doesn't mean that they won't pull the trigger. So what is our job? To stay on top of mind with them. Right? They got to remember Maria.
Yes.
They got to remember Roy. John. Right? They got to remember the person that has been the influence in delivering information pertaining to real estate. And there's a lot of information that can be shared with this. Right? That's why the information that you guys acquired through our office meeting, the third Thursday of every month, which is the language of sales, is important. Right? These meetings are super important for you guys. Mike Serrano emails the slides to everybody. Are you using them? You don't have to use the whole thing. Find what you want to shoot to your client and send it to them. Make a screenshot. Right? There's plenty of information that can be shared, guys. Plenty of information. And then follow up. Hey, Maria, did you get that last email I sent you about interest rates? Right? And then you're going to find out if Maria is actually checking your mail. Oh, you haven't? You got to go take a look at it, Maria. You're going to love the information. As a matter of fact, go look at it right now. I'll call you back in 5 minutes. Right? You got to put people into action. Right? You got to give them direction. You got to lead the horse to the water. Right? You got to put them in position to drink. Never. Can't be reached or asked not to be contacted. How many of you guys have ever had these? Right? You call somebody and then they ghost you. Right? It happens all the time. Do you give up? How many times do you call them?
At least 4 times.
11 should be your number.
You're kidding.
No.
Why?
11 times before you give it up.
Why 11?
Because an 8x8 is 8 touches. Right? You want to do 11 on the phone before you give up. Right? And if at that point you're not reachable, then you delete them. Let me get some. What are my drinks?
Does he know to do that?
So when we first started,
I was gonna be like, what an exit.
say it again.
I was gonna say, what an exit, man.
Peace! I'm done. George has left the building. Right? So when we first started working the mentorship program, we had a lender that was going to be working with us, and they were actually buying leads for us, right? And I was in charge of managing those leads. So I said, okay, we're going to try this system. So we were, you might call it the beta stage. So every day I would get about 100 leads from this lender. I would spend the whole day. I did it for about a month. I kid you not, in that month I probably did about $30,000. It got to the point where I had to go and freaking buy these earpieces because I was like, oh my God, this is a lot, right? Every lead that I got in that list was contacted 11 times, right? Until I got them on the phone. If I didn't get them on the phone by my 11th try, then I would delete them, right? But I was making thousands of dials every single week. Every single week.
So you're just calling them every day? For
Pretty much.
11 days in a row?
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Titles who gets expires, right?
Title can give you anything you want. You guys want numbers? We'll talk to Frank. Right? How many of you guys know who Frank is? Frank Donato. Frank Donato is our in-house, he's the VP for Monarch Title, which is our in-house title company. Well, I wouldn't call it in-house, but it's Sam's company.
Is it
Right? Monarch.
The office here to the right?
Yep, all the way to the end. Yeah. We'll talk to Frank. Frank's a freaking ball of information. He knows everything and anything. He doesn't know he'll invent it. All right? Just kidding. This is being recorded. Just kidding, Frank. All right? Who do you want to capture? Who are your preferred customers? Stop and think this. What are their profiles? Does your prospecting and marketing target these customers? Right? What are we focusing on? What is your niche? We go back to that. Right? At the beginning, you should be having conversations with everybody and their mama and their kids and their grandma. Right? Everybody. I've told this story before. Some of you have heard it, some of you guys have not. Right? I used to come in here every single morning, early in the morning. I would start by day, 6:45, 7 o'clock here at the office. And we used to have a cleaning lady. I don't know if you remember her. You remember Lorena Roy?
Yep.
Okay, her mom.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the cleaning lady.
I see her every night, so
Betty.
she's here every night.
Yeah, she was here. She would come at night, and then she would come early in the morning. She would split her day in 2 shifts. So every morning, I would bring her a coffee and a donut. And she would sit in my office with me, we'd talk about 10, 15 minutes conversation, she'd take a break, you know? And we just bonded. Nobody, she told me, nobody, she's like, I've been here for 10 years. She's like, nobody would even start a conversation with me. Nobody has even bought me a coffee. You don't even know me, you buy me coffee every day.
She's a sharp lady.
Yeah, right? So it got to the point where I started calling her Tia. Tia! Right? Means aunt. Right? Bring her coffee and I said, coffee donuts here in my office. Let's go do our daily routine. Sit in my office and just have a conversation. The cleaning lady. So one day, the cleaning lady comes to George. And she says, Mijo, I'm gonna retire. I said, oh, okay, Tia. I'm like, it's about time, you know? He's like, I need to sell my homes.
Yeah, she had many homes.
With the S.
What do you mean? Homes. All my investments.
Yeah.
How many do you have? He's like, with the one I live in, 11.
Oh.
The cleaning lady was an investor. And I'm like, holy crap. If anybody else knew that she was an investor, everybody would be buying her coffee. Right? She retired. Guess who sold the homes?
You did.
I did. That dollar coffee every single day with that 10-minute conversation meant the world to her. Right? And she ended up selling all her investments. No clue that the cleaning lady owned these many properties. Never judge a book by its cover. Right? It's about having conversations with everybody. Right? I still talk to her. Right? She lives in Rosarito now. She bought a beach house in Rosarito. Loves Rosarito. She's not even Mexican. She's from Argentina. Right? But she loves Rosarito. She bought her house on the beach, living life. Who would have thought that the lady that cleaned the toilets owned 11 homes? Right? And super humble lady, but who would have known, right? So who are going to be your preferred customers, right? Obviously, as you go through this business, you're going to find out. What are their profiles? Does your prospecting market these customers? So if you're working with investors, you're not going to market first-time buyers to investors, right? You obviously got to set your marketing based on the profile of that client. Methods of capture, sign calls. Why are signs so important in this business?
People call.
Say again?
People call.
Exactly. Where does the sign belong? On a listing. Listings equal what? Leverage. Why? It's a 2-for-1 deal, just like Hassan said. People will call the number on the sign. So if you have a listing, you're gonna have a buyer. It's the name of the game. It's a 2-for-1 deal, right? So is it important to have many signs out there? You bet your butt it is. Absolutely, right? Listings are leverage. IVR 800 calls, right? This would be a sizzle number, we call it, right? You can pay for some sort of a number where it would have like a pre-recorded for George Perez, press 1, right? For Maria, press 2, right? And it would give it a little message, and so you would need to pay for that service. Offers in newspapers, magazine flyers, newsletters, and postcards. Do these things still work?
Yes.
Some of it do, some of it I could care less. Like a newspaper ad. Not my niche. Postcards? Yeah. Right? Right. Because if you're marketing to a certain neighborhood, especially if you're farming, how many of you guys know what farming is in real estate? Okay? Farming is choosing a neighborhood and becoming the neighborhood expert for that neighborhood. Right? You're going to market to it every single month. You're going to door knock it. You're going to flyer it. You're going to do whatever it takes for you to become that expert in that neighborhood. So that if anybody in that neighborhood ever has a question, who do they think of? You.
Keisha.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? So it's farming. How do you find a farm? We'll talk to Frank. He'll help you with that. How many homes do you want to have in a farm? About 2,000. Right? About 2,000, and you want to market it every year. I remember there used to be this gentleman in the valley at KW Northridge, and he had about a 3,000 home farm in Northridge, right? He was doing about 60 deals a year out of his own farm, just his farm, right? He would door knock his farm every single day. He would do 25 doors every single day, 5 days a week. 5 days a week. He would make sure that was the last thing for his day, and then he would go home. So, would I recommend that you guys start a farm? 100%. 100%. Keep track of who lives there. Go build relationships with them, right? Open houses. Are open houses important?
Yes.
100%. 100%. Why? It's the easiest, non-threatening way of lead generating. Why? They come to you. Right? They come to you. But here's the thing. A lot of agents work open houses the lazy way. Right? What do I mean with the lazy way?
Put
To
a
go to
sign
the
out.
print. Say it again?
I said putting a sign out and
And hope that people show up. Right? That's a lazy way. It's really not going to bring, it's not going to be effective. What's an effective open house?
door knocking, calling.
Door knocking, calling, circle prospecting it, Facebook ads, we call it a 7th level open house. What is the 7th level? It's doing 7 activities that are going to lead into a successful event. Right? I always tell people, go door knock the neighborhood at least a day or 2 before the event. How many doors should I knock on? How many doors are in the neighborhood? Right? Map it. Count the doors. Remember what I told, know your numbers? Well, you got to know your numbers on that end too. Right? You figure out how many doors you're going to knock, and you print out exactly that amount of flyers. Right? If it's 100 doors, print out 100 flyers. And at the end of the day, if you passed all of them out, guess what? You hit 100 doors. Right? Call
So
now.
what do you recommend for open house, like 2-3 days before the door knocking? What about the social media ads? 3 days before, 2 days before?
You can knock out 2 or 3 tasks in one day.
No, but I mean like how soon, how early? Because I have an open house again this weekend, but
So on social media, typically your ads run on a 3-day window,
3 days. Okay.
right? Depending on the budget that you put on. And it works. They really do. How many of you guys have ever done a Facebook ad for real estate? Have you? Carmen? Mara? No?
Yeah, I did.
Can you guys see? You see the same picture? Look. Inquiry after inquiry after inquiry, inquiry. I probably have about 60 leads from that house that I put on the market last Friday.
You need somebody to call on those or what?
I called every single one of them yesterday. That's where I ended up sending about 6 buyers to my preferred lender to get pre-qualified.
Do you prefer, or I guess for me, 'cause I'm trying to figure out what's better, is using command for the Facebook ads or using the Facebook platform to do the
It all depends on your liking, right?
Oscar, are you doing it through the command thing or?
I
you
don't do
it
both.
Oh.
do both? Oh, okay.
The difference is this, okay? Through command, the leads go directly into your contacts, right? With this one here, it goes directly into my messenger. I can't control command yet fully like I can on the computer on the phone. But I can control my messenger right away. Is this still available? Yes, it is. Are you interested in the house? Would you like to see it? Right? Yes, awesome. Have you been pre-qualified? No, not yet. Awesome. That will tell you the truth. That's going to be the first step. Let's do this. What is your number so I can call you and give you more information as far as the pre-qualification? And boom, there's a number. Right? I get on the phone. And I explain the process because most of these people are people that have never bought a house before. Right? And what is your job? Is to lead them. Right? Always keep that in mind. If you think you're not a leader, you're in the wrong mindset. You were born into leadership in this business because you are the leader of every transaction that you have in your journey. Right? You gotta be the leader. It's not your client. It's you. You're the leader. If you're in a transaction with 2 agents involved, guess what? Somebody has to have control. Right? Josh always says this. It's like playing tennis. You want to hit that ball over that net as soon as possible and put the ball in their court. Right? And as soon as they hit it back, boom, you hit it back. You want to keep your side of the street clean. It's having control. I mean, you're not talking about being a prick, right? You're talking about being professional and in control, which means what? Getting disclosures back in a timely manner, executing your inspections, making sure the lender's doing their job, making sure the escrow packages are back, making sure your file is updated, right? So by the time that we're getting close to closing, you have a lot less work to do, right? A lot less work. Unless you're hiring a TC, right? Which then you gotta make sure that your TC is doing their work. Because there's good TCs and there's bad TCs. Just like there's good agents and there's bad agents. Right? For my agents that are in my mentorship program, guess what? You haven't experienced a TC yet because you're not allowed to first. Right? You gotta close a couple deals before you get to that stage. Why? You gotta earn it. Right? I want you to learn the process. Right? TCs they're not free. My TC cost me $450 transaction. But I don't do anything. I hand her the contract, she takes over. I don't have the time. I focus on bringing more business. Let her take care of the nurturing. You know, the rock 'em up, baby. Right? Yeah. Go put triplets in escrow. You know what I mean? Find yourself 3 escrows that you can bring to the table that are going to do what? Give you 3 checks. Imagine in this market, the average commission right now is what? About $8,500. So imagine closing 3 deals every single month. How much money you're depositing into your account every single month? About $30K. Right? About $30K. Trust me. Feels good to do that. Feels real good. Right? Your stress level can definitely go away. Right? Phone calls. Got the bus?
Tengo que.
We're not even
I don't want to
done.
though, but
It was a 1-hour class.
Was it an hour class? Oh crap. All right, an hour and a half. So it's good, that's why. Right? All right.
I'll see you later.
Okay. Phone calls. Make a good impression. Right? How do you make a good impression? By knowing what to say. Was that thing fun? Yep. You got to know. Oh, too late. I know. It's a sign. Time to go. Make a good impression. How do you do that? You got to bring it. How many of you guys were here yesterday for my track class? Right? What did it say? Energy on the call.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Energy on the call. Hi, this is John. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams. I was just calling. Click. Right?
Right.
Hey, Mr. Johnson, this is John. Who? John from Keller Williams. How you doing? You see the difference? Right? You gotta bring it. You gotta make a good impression. They ask you a question, answer it quickly. Don't be around the bush. John, is this a great time? Is this a good time to buy a house? Absolutely, Mr. Johnson. Let me explain why. Right? Speak warmly with confidence and enthusiasm. How do you build confidence in this business?
Practice.
Practice makes perfect. Right? How do you practice? We have a ton of classes in place. Education is our #1 thing in this office. Right? There's something on the schedule that you guys can be taking advantage of at any point in time throughout the day. And that's for the appointment. Right? What's the worst thing they could say? No. Yeah. And if you don't ask, you won't know. If you don't ask for the number, Carmen, you won't know if they're actually going to give it to you. right? Systemize your capture, put all leads into your database, 100%. Offline paper, lead log, card file, calendar planner. Forget about all these. That's why we got command, right? Use command. Right there, online computer, contact management system. Microsoft Outlook, use command. Capture all your leads in your database. Phone call in the car, conversation at the coffee shop. Scrap a paper with the name and phone number scrolled on it. Email and smartphone, referral, right? Whatever works. That's why I was telling you at the beginning that I don't hand out my business card. What do? I text it, right? Because that gives me an opportunity of having their phone number immediately, right? I'm not gonna wait for them to call me. Here, let me text you my business card, John. What's your number? Okay, great. Did you get it? Great. What's your last name, John? Awesome. Okay, I got you in my contacts. I'll touch bases with you in a couple of days to see what you think of the information that I'm gonna send you. Is that okay with you, John? Great? Okay, awesome.
God, that was like within 30 seconds. And
Yes.
smooth. The delivery is.
I've internalized my script, right? Because I practice scripts so much. Your capture system, describe your current capture system. What are you guys really using, right? It should be command all the way through. How many of you guys have done the 66-day challenge with Marty Miller on YouTube? Well, I know that Ramsey has, and Myra and Brittany should be working on it right now because they're part of my mentorship program. But for everybody else, go to YouTube and search Marty Miller. M-A-R-T-Y. Miller. M-E-L-L-E-R. He is a certified command trainer that had a major influence in the direction of the creation of command. Right? He has a challenge called 66-Day Command Challenge and do the 5.0. Okay, because he has different versions of it as this program has been bettered. Right? Here's what I love about Marty Miller. His videos focus on one area. You want to learn how to enter a contact? Go watch video number 5. Right? And it's a 4.5 minute video on how to put a contact in command. He's not going to show you smart plans. He's not going to show you anything else in that video. Just how to add a contact. Right? So it's divided into different areas of command. Right? I think his longest video is like 7 or 8 minutes. Right? So you can knock out a few of these videos a day, and by the time you're done with all 66, you might have some extensive knowledge in command. Right? Command has a lot of features that I still don't know about. I'm like, no way, you can do that? Oh my God. Right? That's awesome. So I would highly advise you guys to look for Marty Miller. Here, let me put it in the chat room so you guys know who to look for. Marty Miller on YouTube. And you're going to do the 66-Day Command Challenge 5.0. There you go, guys, for my people online. Guys, it's 35 minutes past the hour. This should have been a 1-hour class. But as you guys can see, there's a lot of information in this program, right? Really quick, what's going to be your next step? It's going to be to connect, right? Connect with these people so that you're able to do what? Add them to your database, right? And your final step is going to be to cultivate. How do you cultivate them? John already said it earlier. You're going to put them on smart plans. You're going to make sure that you keep in contact with them. Right? Especially in today's market that we're in the middle of a shift, guys, this is going to be extremely important. It's gold time. Right? The people that take advantage and put in the work right now, when this market really shifts, it's nothing you guys got to worry about. Nothing. Because you're going to be fully prepared. Any ahas? Anything you guys want to share with me? Any questions before I let you guys go? Did you guys learn something?
Yes.
Awesome. I'm glad that you did. Let me know if you do have any questions or anything arises. You can send me a message, send me an email, send me a smoke signal, whatever works. All right? I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, guys.
George.
Thanks, George.
Could you let me know, the shadowing for the,
Yeah, I'll work on the schedule and I'll let you know.
okay,
Okay,
thank you.
you got it.
Okay.
Have a great one.
Bye.